Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something really special, the professional journey toward lifelong learning. Look, returning to postgraduate study is a massive step. It's absolutely filled with ambition and excitement, but let's be totally honest here, it usually comes with a little bit of anxiety too, and that is perfectly okay. We're going to look at why stepping back into the classroom is literally one of the most powerful moves you can make for your career right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. Has it been a few years or maybe even a whole decade since you last sat in a lecture hall or had to write an academic paper? If you're nodding your head right now, seriously, take a deep breath. You are in excellent company. Addressing that very real, very common anxiety about having a gap in your formal education is exactly where we need to begin. Section 1. The return to study. You can really think of this as the threshold phase of our journey, where those feelings of hesitation or fear are completely valid and normal. Things like mathematics, technical writing, literature reviews, research methods, and even examination techniques. These are highly specific academic muscles. If you've spent the last several years building an amazing career in industry, serving in the military, working in government, or taking time for family leave, of course these skills feel rusty. You haven't been using them every day. The initial shock of diving back into all this can feel super daunting, but feeling a bit out of practice, that's a perfectly normal part of the process.
Section 2. Your experience is an asset.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clearly it frames the mental shift we need to make. It's so easy to fixate on the fear of those out-of-practice academic skills. But look at the reality. You aren't starting from scratch here. No way. You are walking into that classroom bringing immense professional experience, highly practical knowledge, and tested leadership skills. You possess real-world perspectives that a textbook simply cannot teach. You're going to naturally enrich class discussions and bring incredible lived context to your assessments. Because the reality is, in dynamic sectors, we're talking engineering, tech, space systems, defense, knowledge evolves at absolute breakneck speed. Industry practices change constantly. What was cutting edge just 5 years ago might literally be obsolete today. Because of this, the most successful professionals out there aren't the ones who claim to know everything right now. They are the ones who remain fiercely curious and highly adaptable as industry practices shift. Which leads us to this incredibly powerful punchline. Returning to study is therefore an investment in yourself. Just let that sink in for a second. Choosing to return to education isn't just about obtaining a piece of paper. It's a direct reflection of your commitment to your own personal growth and new opportunities. It is you actively recognizing and betting on your own potential.
Section 3. Support, systems, and resources. Because you are absolutely not expected to navigate this journey alone. And this brilliantly illustrates the robust safety net you have. At UNSW Canberra, there is an entire support network designed specifically for postgraduate students. Your course conveners and lecturers are your first line of guidance, but there are also highly tailored tools right at your fingertips. Worried about the math? Well, there are short math patch refresher videos to get you up to speed. Need help structuring an essay? You'll find dedicated academic skills resources for technical writing and referencing, plus recorded materials so you can learn entirely at your own pace.
Section 4. Building your professional network.
You see, your degree isn't just about passing tests. It's an entire ecosystem of learning. A lot of students return to study to advance their careers or transition roles entirely. And the truth is, a ton of that transformation happens outside of traditional assessments. Through professional seminars, industry presentations, and guest speaker sessions, you're gaining direct insights into emerging technologies. Add in alumni and employer networking, and you're suddenly mapping out very real, actionable career pathways. It's all about plugging into this broader learning community. Yes, for sure, you learn from incredible instructors, but you know what the real secret weapon is? The person sitting right next to you. Through discussion forums and peer interactions, you are absorbing the hard-won experiences of seasoned professionals actively working in the field. Building these professional connections beyond the classroom often becomes the single greatest benefit of your entire degree. Section 5. Becoming a lifelong learner. This is the ultimate transformation we're aiming for. Let's move to and see how this builds. When you start, you face that initial hurdle, the rusty skills, the hesitation we talked about. But through practice and experience, what felt incredibly difficult gradually becomes second nature. Confidence doesn't just magically appear on day one, right? It is constructed piece by piece. You move from the challenge, through the reps, into a profound sense of self-assurance. And how exactly do you build that confidence?
Well, through the specific, daily micro habits of a student. Every single lecture you attend, every dense article you conquer, every assessment you submit, and every time you raise your hand to ask a question, you are incrementally compounding your growth as a learner and a professional. Because ultimately, this is the core mindset you are truly working toward. A lifelong learner is someone who continuously acquires new knowledge, adapts seamlessly to change, and openly embraces new challenges. The actual qualification, that's almost secondary to developing these permanent, incredibly valuable habits that will serve you for the rest of your professional life.
Your decision to return to study already proves your commitment to continuous growth, giving you a remarkably strong foundation for lifelong success. You have the support, you have the experience, and you've got the mindset. So, your learning never stops. What challenge will you embrace next? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I honestly can't wait to see where your educational journey takes you.